Before we can jump into a well drilling, let me go back to the very beginning. Getting our well drilled delayed our entire project by several months, but it could have been so much worse. If you're building on raw land, especially somewhere rural, we wanted to share experience with you and hope that it helps you with your process.
They're gonna go real deep down into the dirt, way down with this thing. And they're looking for water. And when they find water, then
In order to build our house, we had to prove to the building department that we could get safe drinking water. That meant going to the health department for well permits, water testing, and approvals. But we couldn't even apply for that until we had a septic system designed and permitted. Even though we have 2.5 acres, we have to maintain 65% of the tree coverage on our lot for aquifer recharge. And our septic and our well have to be in that other 35%, while also still maintaining 100 feet between the septic field and the well. I figured out there was basically 12 steps to get our well permitted, and it really started with our septic system. So first, step one, hire a septic designer. Step two is to have that designer dig soil logs and verify where the well will be and that it's at least that 100-foot distance. Step three is to finalize the septic design and make sure that that matches with your overall site plan. And finally, you submit that to the health department for approval and basically just wait. Here's where we hit our first snag. We discovered that after the septic designer drilled the original soil logs, that they were actually in a different place than what the septic design showed. So we had to have that septic designer come back and redig the soil logs in the right place and then wait for updated approvals. And that alone added weeks of delay. Concurrently, we needed to hire a licensed well driller. And then once we got the approval, the driller submits a letter of intent to the Department of Ecology, and the health department issues an authorization to drill. Next, the driller comes out to drill the well. We also had to hire a separate pump installer. Pump gets set, the installer takes water samples and submits reports. You wait again for the reports to come back, and then finally you get to submit those reports to the health department. If all goes well, you get approval. Unfortunately, here's where we hit another snag, is that unfortunately, right after we paid our deposit to the well driller, he just ghosted us for basically a month. He stopped responding to emails and texts and kept it just was really frustrating. And so we looked at other well drillers, and they were saying that they were booked another 6 to 8 months out, which was just impossible. We didn't even know if we'd be able to build at that point. We were freaking out, to say the least. Finally, he did finally respond. So he finally got our well drillers out, and we were able to start actually drilling the well. One of the things we needed to do for the well was to dig a pit near the drilling site for slurry to collect. Apparently, the well driller said the equivalent of a pickup truck bed would be enough. But while we were out on site during drilling, we ended up having to extend that pit even more to hold some of that slurry, which was a sticky mix of clay and sand. And it was just super messy, but now it's dried up and it's just like a big sand pit. The rig that they had was super old school, no compressed air or anything, no spinning bits or anything. It's just a slow drop of a drilling rod that just pounds through that hard pan, breaking rock as it goes. And this took days. I think they were out there for 5 days. And we actually got a noise complaint from one of our neighbors, not sure who, but apparently he was starting work super early, and that was a no-no against the city code. So he complied. He started showing up a little bit later in the day, so that was fine. After all that, the well was drilled, cased, and capped with a seal. The pump installer was able to come out and set the well pump. I don't have any footage of that. It goes 150 feet in the ground. But they were able to get the water samples submitted, and everything came through 5 weeks later, and we got our health department approval. If you're building on raw land, I hope this helps show how long and complicated the water permitting process can be. Please be sure to subscribe if you want to follow along as we finish the well house and start building our new home.